Staying in Overtalk for very long. We're going right into the game. We know that you guys prefer gameplay, all in all. So it's going to be Montreal versus the Legion, as we're taking a look at it here. Nothing too crazy. When you look at the Montreal side, it's going to be 3-3, backed up by a Winston going to Legion. Much the same.
Rolling up to Nepal Sanctum here. Going to be that mirror matchup for both teams. And really importantly to watch is if teams are going to prioritize this pillar side, going for the dive. And you see both Winstons making the leap. Bubble not quite out as Chain so low.
Chain down, not able to be saved there. Just heavy extension, immediately punished. And immediately, we're to a pause.
Chain has rage quit the server. He said, guys, GG, no re.
He's done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm angry.
You know, clearly, in the minds of some players, you can't come back from that.
No, you can't. But that was, I mean, it was a pretty good engagement, counter engagement, I should say, from the rest of Legion. Because Chain makes that leap from the point, trying to sandwich someone, but really all he does is crisscross. He just crisscrosses with Panker. And so then Panker is just in front of him, able to use the bubble later, and the rest of Legion are able to isolate. Really
holding myself back from making a bad 90s pun right now. I hope you're proud.
When I say do it, I mean hold yourself back. Yeah. Not do it.
You're saying don't talk about people jumping right now?
No, don't actually. I guarantee you, I'm fairly certain the majority of the audience members will not even recognize that reference.
You know, the 90s was a great time. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But actually, that's really goes across generations because they keep redoing it. But I saw the original series. Yeah. Take that.
And then these days, we had the Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. That's a travesty.
I'm a big fan of just extremely vascular turtles with like crazy like explosions behind them, just running around. It's like Donatello, let's surf this car as like a nuke goes off behind us, and then I'm just gonna like flex my insane turtle biceps. That's crazy.
You're saying you don't want to live in a world where every Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is a Giga Chad?
I mean, remember we talked about this. Giga Chad is being killed.
No,
we're saying it too much.
No, it's being killed by everyone else. Like we're just getting a few last shots in.
No. We can't. We have to reference. We have to put a different prefix. We have to put like Yada Chad, which is what we talked about yesterday. We have to put Yada Chad, or just don't use Chad at all. Like we can put Tanner from high school, but we can't. Giga Chad is being killed. Chat, we can't. No more Giga Chad, okay? You're killing the meme.
Did Mitch kill it last night? Was that the final death blow, or?
Yeah. When Mitch is able to get to it, it's slowly worked its way through. You know, it's slowly worked its way through most of the levels.
Okay.
When Uber's able to get there,
he just delivered the final back-breaking shot to it, is what you're telling me.
Maybe a little bit. I mean, he was even able to use a super reference. I mean, he worked in the neutral, so
yeah.
I mean, that's how you know it's truly dead streamer.
So for those wondering why we are talking about the hot vernacular of the day, we just have a quick pause here for the teams, a technical difficulty as we're looking to get back into Rebellion versus Legion. You have not tuned in to the wrong channel, but sometimes these delays do happen.
We had one last game as well, so I mean it's just some teams. Who knows what it could really be? Yeah. Honestly, we don't have any. We're just working blind ourselves.
Yeah. We already speculate on Stomach Boom, but we're not going to go to that unless we have extra information, other things that could be dealing with it, hardware failure.
More likely technical issues.
Yeah.
As it seems we have made our way back in. We're in the game. It's going to be cleaned up now for the rest of Legion. And that's going to be first mid. First control going the way of Gladiators.
And off of that cleanup, obviously works out very well for them. First control is theirs. And Panker, worth noting, still a two-way player. Could show up on Overwatch League whenever he wants, but for now, still here on the Legion side.
Now Montreal looking to engage here, looking to get back into the mid. Right now, point presence is extremely valuable, but Gladiators, the Legion here, just trying to contest it very early at the chokes.
And Rebellion, they're poking through the poke battle here to a degree, but it's taking them quite a bit of time. Neither team actually super damaged, but neither team really heavily committing here just yet. Panker going a little bit more forward and actually built up a lot of ult charge.
I mean, Water using that rally, just forcing Rebellion to back up now. Here comes the grab. There's the grab from Dalton, catching him on the corner. There's no support ult just yet for the rest of Rebellion, and that's going to be it.
Legion gets easy cleanup there, and most importantly, that was usually you'd see Panker use Primal there early for the disruption. The grab was so good and the pickoff so early that
there was no reason.
You didn't have to.
You also do more damage in a grab without ult as Winston, with all the cleave damage than you do with ult. So now, Rebellion moving back out here again. They will have that trance now. They have the grab, but still no combo up just yet. Hui, 75% to that bomb. Legion, I would not be surprised to see them engage aggressively on this corner again with that primal, with that bomb from Pride.
I mean, the key here is they let Panker lead the way. Logic's, though, on the other side, holding on to the grab. Legion just being very smothering here. Grab going to be coming out early, but Transcendence back the other way. Panker's already used primal here.
The boom!
Damage! Oh, off the side! Tensa able to get Rolf. And that's exactly what Montreal needed here. Not only is the Transcendence out, but obviously down a Zen, up 2 players. This should be Montreal getting first control of the point, but it's still going to be a long way for them to go.
No, I mean, a great time bank here. Water gets that late pick onto Goliath. Pride still alive. I really don't agree with that bomb choice either. I mean, he bought time off the clock. It seems like Legion actually still want to recontest Pride, going off the map again. Logic's demeching him. And that will be it. 97% for Legion. Rebellion taking the point now. They're still in a pretty good position, though, because both support ults up for Rebellion.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be really difficult for Rebellion, where Rebellion, they're in the classic situation where they not only have to play every fight perfectly, but they also need a big mistake from Legion at some point.
It would be a lot worse for Rebellion, though, if Fried had not used that bomb, because now there's no combo.
Yeah. We're going to see the barrier come out here from Rebellion pretty early, using it to throw Legion back a bit. Graviton could be coming out from Dalton. Heavy pressure coming in. Montreal having to transcend to deal with it. But now here comes Ludi. Gonna be dropping the barrier. Legion rolling back over. Who he gonna drop the bomb? Looking for anything here. Connects onto Panker. Panker unable to get away. And Rebellion, it's a long slog, but it's working in their favor and also buying quite a bit of time.
I know, getting that last pick late for Panker, also using the primal while he was caught in that grab, trying to live. Hui picking him up. So now Rebellion, they've held on to the point. They had to use almost all their ults. It's only going to be the primal coming up for them. So Trance up very soon for Legion, which means they have the ability to do the support hold bunny hop here, where you just move forward, you know the other team does not have it, and you aggress.
Well, we're going to see Chain here use the early primal, looking for a knockoff to the side, obviously hit right there. Instead, getting on the grab, isolated and down. Free pickoff here for the Legion. Everyone still alive, exactly the conditions they were looking for. Now they can just go over to the point. Panker though under danger, almost taken down, healed up in the nick of time. Fried can drop the self-destruct, buy a little bit more room. And the Legion going to retake. The point is now theirs. The Rebellion must stay on the point to keep it in the overtime, but they are losing player after player, and it's going to be the Legion bringing this back. Should be round 1 to them. And
that was a smart read from Dalton in the opening of that fight, dropping the solo grab onto Chain, denying him from staying alive, knowing that there were no support ults up for the Rebellion just yet, making sure they had that pick to move towards the point. The bomb getting flung off the map.
That's going to do some real structural damage to the base of the ball there. Actually, the entire map is gone. And look, this is some decent delay coming in from the Rebellion.
But it's just cleanup. Yeah. Legion owned the point. They're continuing to build up their ults. They have too much power here. Wolf is free. He's uncontested. Goliath had made the swap to Tracer, so there's just no damage.
I mean, they're hoping for the miracle right now, but really what's happening is that the Legion are getting just some world-class stat padding.
This is world-class stat padding.
Like, this is the type of thing that's like, man, you guys really did well there on the Paul. That you actually look deeper is like, oh, you were just destroying people for a 2-minute stall.
Yeah, solid minute contest there. But it'll be the first stage, first round there, picked up on Nepal for Legion. 1-0. Rebellion having a solid showing, but they just are getting the ult economy for them has been, for sure, from my perspective so far, a little bad. They don't know how to quite pop those ults in a way where they're getting the most value and ensure they have something in their bank for the next fight.
It's definitely been tough to say the least so far, but we do have some interesting changes here, and oh nope, we have a pause.
Oh, the pause again.
Little do we know, we're running out of reasons to speculate as to why players could be pausing. I mean, we've probably hit on the actual reason multiple times here.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a technical issue of some sort. But teams paused again. I mean, maybe they're just pausing. They're calling the tack pause. We're like, guys, we got to discuss our strat. But actually, the pause is over, so we're back in anyways.
Where we're going up and down. You know, you don't know if we're saying down or not. We did claim that we cut the chair entirely. We're gonna stick with that for now.
Rebellion actually using this triple DPS setup, but with the Ashe instead of a Sombra. They're going to be trying to catch the Legion, just overwhelm them. Legion actually, it looks like they might be going back to spawn. They are. They're going to be going back and making swaps.
What do you think they're going to be swapping to? I was
mean,
going to say Moira for
makes
one.
Sense, yeah. But that's only if they want to be continuing to run this 3-3 setup here. Having the Moira be, it's a lot tougher to catch.
It is just the Moira. So their goal there is just give Roof a little bit of time to get the Moira.
They're also going from high ground rather than going directly to point.
Roof took so much damage early on, just able to get healed back up. But man, that could have been pretty ugly. Rebellion still going to get first capture here for free. Naga
catching
moving
Goliath.
forward. Goliath out early. And Rebellion actually in a rough spot here. Logix doesn't have the greatest sight lines to lead in here, as the Legion just dominating the point. They're going to take it back.
So close to Barrage, and also they are running the Sombra. I just, I was blind. I saw on the Sombra here. There's the Barrage catching 2. Pride gonna pick up Naga, but I think those are 2 big frags. Water and Wolf both down. So much sustain out of the fight for Legion.
It's big, but the Legion are still getting cleanup kills on the other side. It's nowhere near enough for the Rebellion to cleanly move in and get control of the fight, where even though I think this is probably something they're going to take, Legion is going to continue the delay and get very good progress on the point.
Yes, they're definitely going to continue to get progress. Wolf deciding to commit the Coalescence as well to stay in this fight. Naga already at 40% to another Barrage. Goliath so low. Logix getting hunted by Fried. There's the mines out for Chain.
Panker got Goliath. Goliath somehow gets caught, and respawns for the Legion are coming back in. It's not crazy.
Where is the EMP, ZP? Where is the EMP? Hui needs to be getting EMP so much faster in this fight.
Well, he's finally got an EMP, but the problem is that Legion have turned the fight around quite significantly at this point. All the good work that happened from that early barrage now pretty much gone.
See, there's a reason I didn't see that Rebellion were running Sombra, because he was doing nothing. Because they needed EMP so much faster in that fight. EMP is so important for the win condition of the Rebellion here.
And now they probably should hold off. Well, they dropped EMP early. They don't wait until Naga's barrage. Instead, they're going to get caught by the Grav. Naga just going to go down. Logix throwing in the bomb. Bomb being like, all right, I'll do something in this case. But again, it's not clean. The Legion are still in and around here. Dalton's able to pick up Chain, and this entire time...
The Rebellion have to make swaps.
Yeah.
They need to stop committing to this fight. The fight's over. They're down so many, and Chain decides to commit and drop mines. I know they're making swaps now, but it is really late. Really, really late. Already, you're going to be almost 90% to Legion.
Well, you know what? There's an old phrase where you're tired because you said way too much, but there is the age-old adage of when in doubt, goats it out, and I guess Rebellion gonna go for that late goat swap and hope for the best. Panker gonna lead in with the Shatter, gets absolutely nothing from it. Ludi gonna fall, and Rebellion actually have a decent start to this.
The Rebellion
nice
have
charge
to save this trance. It looks like they can, because the trance is so important that they can survive the rest of this round, that they can bring it back from the 99 that Legion have. It really well played to ensure they can keep it.
So Rebellion, they are able to fight their way back in, but they find themselves in the same situation they were in a round before, where now they have to be perfect for quite a long time.
They do, and Dalton is so close to the grab. Fried has the bomb already, so really that combo is a determining factor for Legion in this next push. Rebellion, I wouldn't be surprised to have them use the rally and maybe get the opening early.
We'll have to see. Chain just going to drop directly
Catching
down.
water.
Gets water immediately. Exactly. What a counter shatter coming in from Panker on the other side.
That was not Panker.
From Chain.
That was from Chain. Yeah, I know you love Pankers.
No, I do. Panker on the brain, clearly.
You do, but that is Chain picking up the Shatter.
So, really good from Rebellion right now.
They didn't have to use the rally either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, well played. That was a great pick off early onto Water. Legion, they still hold the combo, but now Rebellion have one of their own, and they still have the trance.
So, Legion, see how they go for it here. Rebellion, they've just about evened it out, so this fight going to be incredibly impactful as Legion move over.
Look at the kite from Rebellion. They run away from the rally of Water. Water just rallies, and since the armor doesn't sustain, you can just run away.
It gets very quiet for a moment as both teams disengage from each other. Logix, hold on, drops grab on both sides. Both teams get
Neither team going to use the bomb either.
No, they hold back. Panker gonna drop the Shatter. Again, not getting a whole lot from the Legion side. Rebellion moving in. Chain, we get water, and this is looking very good for the Rebellion. They've not only fought this back, but Legion, if they cannot get another pickup here, that's going to be it. The cleanup going the way of the Rebellion, and
it's 1-1.
Yeah.
There's no way that Legion can recontest this. They can't win the fight. Too much health, too much damage on the point. Kensa still having the barrier. They're going to be evening up Rebellion. 1-1 with Legion.
So, really good comeback there from Rebellion, where they weren't quite able to complete the comeback in round 1. They were able to do it back on round 2. And now we'll see how things all end as we move over to the final stage here. And now taking a look at it, Legion, I don't really believe that there's going to be any Genji in play, but taking a look at the Rebellion, I can believe this. I can
believe this. I mean, what I want to see from I liked the idea of running the triple DPS. Especially if we get to see Logix on Tracer. Logix, he's such a solid Tracer player, so strong. But Hui on the Sombra must be getting more value if they're going to be playing the triple DPS.
So this is going to be very interesting. I mean, I think you brought up the right point in mentioning about Hui getting EMPs here. Meanwhile, for Legion, again, they're just going to use...
Legion just going to go back and swap again.
And I think is it going to be Rolf just going over the Moira here? I mean, he already almost getting picked off before he gets back in.
Water is a notoriously good projectile player. So if I'm Legion, why are you trying to run this setup, the 3-3 with the Moira, when you could just swap to dive? There's no Brigitte on the field. They're running Goliath on Ana.
Well, particularly when Pharah is so good here at just making you run an obstacle course. It's one of the better points in the game to run a Pharah versus a 3-3. Early pile driver going to be coming up.
So
heavy
much
pressure.
Damage.
Wolf almost falls. They have to armor pack back on him. Meanwhile, Panker in a really rough spot there. Goliath landed the Bionade, so he was able to get 0 healing during that entire situation.
Water picks up Goliath though, goes a little deep, manages to get him, but there's so much damage still, and Tinsa gets the res, so they're back up. Panker's still down. Naga, he already has the barrage, really look to use it.
Barrage coming out here from Naga towards the end, raining down the rockets, in trouble, and still gets healed in the nick of time. Doesn't get what he's looking for, but also doesn't give up his life in the process.
And then Water getting caught, the Coalescence out for Wolf, but this is, I mean, this is over for Legion. They're down too many players, they've used ults, they don't have sustain. It'll be Dalton going down, and Rebellion are in a really good position. They have EMP, they have Nano, Valk's up, all the win conditions in their favor.
So the storyline here has been Legion getting early control and Rebellion having to fight it back. Now it's the Legion that find themselves in the rough spot of needing to bring this back.
Is Hui going to go for this
hill.
really early EMP here? Or the rest of Rebellion? There's no way, because Rebellion can't follow up. Okay, he's going to be above them. He's going to catch them as they rotate from the low ground. Legion need to be aware. They need to be aware of this EMP.
We're going to find out just where the EMP is. I mean, it's been a rough go for Hui here so far, but now over the top should be free. Drops EMP, gets everyone but Rolf immediately. The fall through there. Logic's going to layer in the pulse bomb, and it was a good setup. Going to buy even more time, and with how slow the Legion have been to get to point, they're probably on their final fight.
And part of the reason they were so slow in that rotation is because Goliath slept fried as they were moving from lower. They had to wait for him to wake up. However, Legion, now, they don't have any ults still. They still don't have grab or bomb yet. They're just now getting close. Rebellion are holding the point continuously. I really would have liked to see a swap from Legion because they're just getting punished so incredibly hard. Hui also getting much better value out of the Sombra.
Naga holding up at the top. Doesn't get as much poke damage as you like. It's probably the best engage we've seen from Legion in terms of getting around the heavy poke. Valkyrie already in progress here from Montreal on the side. Graviton going to be coming in. Wolf down early. Man advantage Montreal. They're looking to finish this out. Point is capped here by Legion, but they're losing person after person here. It's not really great for the police. Naga going to drop the barrage over the top, cracking through the Rhine shield. Gets away from the self-destruct. Excellent mobility.
Wow.
As Montreal going to be retaking, and that's going to be the map.
That's it. Water on the Genji trying to contest, but there's no one going to be left that. I mean, they're just going to be staggered. Once again, Goliath, he has the Nano. There's Water, but it's cleanup. It's literally just straight cleanup. And Naga, he was a player that looked extremely good on first generation last season. He looked stand out.
Yeah.
And when he's on DPS in particular, even better. Looking great here.
Well, not only that, but man, you take a look at it as well. Chain also plays a very solid Hammond. It's a hero that he adopted pretty early, has clearly put a lot of time into, and throughout all of that, he wasn't going for anything crazy flashy, just solid setups to make space for the Pharah from above, got out, didn't get picked, and it was just well executed. And again, it's not the first time we've seen a Pharah just dominate that particular stage in the Paul. It's so hard for a 3-3.
And I really don't know why Legion didn't want to make the swap.
Yeah. Dalton,
he comfortable on hit scan heroes. Water, projectile DPS, very, very hyped up from that Pacific region. I mean, if you're not getting point control, if you're not getting the ults you need, you're not getting the pickups, because when you're playing 3-3, especially with Moira, where there's even less burst damage, because you're just trying to survive all that DPS, all that fire that's coming into you from the high ground in particular, you don't have burst, so you have to catch someone. Ideally, it's going to be Chain, maybe it would be Goliath, but they weren't really getting either. They weren't really able to catch either of them, so really you're just walking around feeding ult charge.
Yeah, not in the least. And also, I mean, you think about things that were a little bit suspect moving in there for the Legion side is that you have to bring this up because normally he's been such a strong point, but in terms of the main tank battle, Chain was doing much, much better than Panker was there. I mean, Panker we saw multiple times.
Now he had his work cut out for him, though, especially in that setup because you're playing Ryan versus Hammond.
Yeah, I don't hold the last round against. I'm speaking a little bit further back when it was more standard setups in the sense that we saw Earth Shatters just vanish into the ether, not get a whole lot of value through the course of that. And yes, it's always a team effort, but it's also a bit troubling for Legion, where they've kind of looked to having a huge presence there and wasn't quite there.
No, it was not. I mean, Rebellion just playing too split, getting too much value out of those triple DPS comps. Legion needed to make swaps, appropriate swaps, if they weren't winning with their 3-3, if they weren't getting point control early, if they weren't catching players and getting those ults, those really important ults up fast enough, which is the CC ults, like Grav, like Shatter.
Yeah, well, we're going to be heading into our next map. It is going to be hybrid, and we'll see if things can be changed up a bit here. But, you know, I think when we look at Legion here, I think back to previous seasons, one thing that really strikes me is that the one thing they were really good at was they had very just aggressive, well-done engages. And I look here, and bear in mind, aggressiveness has been kind of the name of the game in 3-3, and we've seen teams really realize that. You know, I don't know if it's the roster changes where, of course, Gods is no longer with them, and Gods, of course, has been playing out his mind on the other side, but it just feels like the engages coming from Legion have been nowhere near as crisp.
I mean, there are some differences in the roster for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Pooks also moved to NRG. God's gone. I mean, Far also not there anymore. So, you know, a different roster, maybe some different changes, especially when you've added some more non-English speakers, since Water is from the Pacific region. He has been playing, and, you know, I don't think he's a native English speaker.
No.
So there could be seeing some synergy issues there. But realistically, synergy can only get you so far in terms of like why you're underperforming, because when you're getting clearly out-comped, if teams are looking to be, you know, held to a very high standard, say this, you know, this professional Overwatch and Contenders, you make swaps.
So interesting coming out here. We do have a sub for the Rebellion. Chain's going to be out. Nomi going to be coming on in.
Another player from first generation Contenders team that was pretty solid, made that playoff run last Contenders season. Also, previously of Shock and Immortals. A very well-known Reinhardt player. So this is a meta for Nomi, which is very, very good for him.
Very much so, and we'll see if this works out. I mean, presumably the reason is that I would guess that because they're playing Nomi on Ryan here, they probably are not going to be showing any.
I think they'll be stuck much more on that 3-3 setup.
Like, I think they use Chain when they want to actually go to a little bit more flexibility in regards to Winston and Hammond. So, should be 3-3
Legion now running the actually quad DPS with Wolf on the Soldier 76 and Lude on the Mercy.
Be very interesting. Legion, of course, heavy aggro setup here.
Moving inside. Goliath. The Goliath gets the bubble.
Well, Water for now getting quite a bit of damage on the other side here, chunking the tanks. Legion working their way around. It's been rough going for Fried. Fried only 20% of the Sombra. Slow goings, but still pretty good poke damage here. Rebellion's been forced into some side corners to start out with, and it's such a bit rough. Yeah.
They're having to give up a lot of ticks here, build up that health pool, get their cooldowns back up, and now Rebellion are going to come back out. They need to catch someone. Hui's hacked. Goliath catches Dalton, though.
Well, that's going to be big. Now they have to say, well, no, it's not going to be as much. Naga gets caught. It ends up being more of a trade. 5-on-5 here, and Water getting very, very close to a barrage where the pressure has been very good. As you say, they've gotten a tick here already. Moving into the side. Logix, though, just bursts on out, takes down Rolf, and suddenly Water finding himself very alone in the corner.
A 1v2 here. He drops the barrage. Oh! But the banister, the supporting beam there, that's the winner. That's the true
If
winner
he's
right
not
there.
swapping, like, the only way that barrage is excusable is if he's going to swap off the Pharah. If he stays on the Pharah, that is upsetting.
That is a little upsetting, but I mean, if he was able to maybe get a pick on one of the supports, even then it wouldn't have been great value. So definitely not the best barrage choice. Now Rebellion holding the point, and something to note was Hui's hunting Lude there, which is the right play. Hui really has to be hunting Lude, just looking for him in every case, especially when that Guardian Angel cooldown has been used. Well,
heavy pressure going Nomi. Nomi's stuck with nowhere to go, just gets isolated from multiple sides. Falls early. Now, you take a look at this here. Rebellion's in a rough spot. They're going to immediately Transcendence, try and equalize. They get Pinker right after, so actually not the worst, but Water.
This is a great
EMP sets it up. Dalton's there in the follow-through. And this should be everything Legion need to get the point.
It is. I mean, having that trance be forced out early, Rolf dropping that aimbot, dropping off that tactical visor for that soldier. Ult we don't see too often these days. We really don't see that hero or that ult too often. Forcing that trance early means Fried's EMP was going to be extremely strong.
So, not a bad defense coming out here from Montreal. And now we go into much more balanced setup, 3-3, 3-3.
Hui having the bomb. Logic's extremely close to combo. So Rebellion, because they have that 3-3 on first, are ahead in the ult game.
Nomi right there. Rebellion holding on to the self-destruct in the back. Legion, again, getting out-poked a bit here, pressured heavily. Now they're going to decide, no, they don't go directly in. Again, backing up a bit. It's very good stall coming in from the Rebellion.
I mean, the shield presence on Nomi is just so incredibly strong right now. You see right now, his shield is just losing so much health. Here's the engage.
Grab Eden! Grab immediately Eden here. Rebellion in a rough spot. Hui dropping the self-destruct. Thought the grab was going to be there, but no, not quite. Legion now perhaps in a much better spot, but it's a long fight. It's taking them so long to finish off members of Rebellion, even with an extra edge. Nomi gonna fall, was mid-Earth Shatter, can't get it down.
Well, he does get it down, but it gets blocked.
Yeah.
It's no value.
It's not exactly what they're looking for, and Rebellion, though, still fighting back even after the rough start. Legion just wasn't able to finish kills there.
No, they weren't able to get those kills. Nomi, despite that Earth Shatter, not getting a lot of value and also dying for going so aggressively, Legion just could not get anything that they needed. They could not get the frags. The Rebellion's focus fire looking much stronger. And also, I said fried 8 logics when he ate the grab. I didn't mean he didn't
No, he devoured logics, body and soul. He's gone from the game. It's over. Well, we do have the Legion coming in over the top, and Rebellion just gonna rotate over. I'd be like, we'll be the offense now. This is fine.
I mean, swapping places doesn't necessarily mean a lot for either of these teams right now because the cart's position, and they still need to push it.
Water gets caught early. Graviton coming in. Here comes the self-destruct over from the Legion. It's gonna be the fall through they need. It's enough. Fried gonna grab one extra, and finally the Legion gonna get through this choke point, but
having to invest a lot.
It's been slow goings as well.
They needed to invest that combo there. They've lost a lot of time after that first offense. Good shield movement from both Panker and Ludde. Set up the bomb. Now Rebellion coming back in. They don't have any support ults except for the rally coming up very soon. So realistically, they still are behind in the ult game. Panker has a shatter double support ult for Legion. So if Legion recognizes this, they can afford to take a very aggressive fight and just catch Legion.
Aggressiveness has not been in their forte here so far. They've been tentative in the poke game where they wait quite a while, but maybe this will be the time. Rally coming out here. Legion are looking to go a little bit more further up. Hui, though, going to respond. Self-destruct up, doesn't connect. Meanwhile, Naga down for the Rebellion, and the Legion getting the better of this so far.
Using both the rally, using the beat as well. Surviving through Hui's bomb, and really well played from Legion, recognizing their huge support ult advantage. And that's so important right now in 3-3. It's just having those support ults up, having a support ult advantage in a fight where there isn't a grab up means you can just walk at them for free. As Panker just catching these stagger spawns.
There's a lot of pent-up aggression going out there where it's like, yeah, we have been aggressive most of the game. I guess we're going to roll forward.
Rebellion very slow to build up these support ults.
So, payload moving forward now from Legion. 2 minutes left in the game. We'll see what the Rebellion does.
Another combo up for Legion, by the way, which is so important because still neither support ult left for Rebellion, which means they could realistically only grab and have a solid fight. But I mean, the combo should mean it's a free fight win.
Water getting a lot of damage on him early, just barely able to live. Grab though, out, self-destruct to the back. Fried self-destruct, not gonna get as much. In fact, Water still ends up getting picked off for the Rebellion. They build up the barrier mid-fight, they come back the other way. And the Legion unable to take advantage of that early combo opportunity.
Great beat from Tinsa, keeping Goliath alive. Even though he had already won the 1v1 with Water, he was on the ground from the shatter of Panker, could not pop the trance, but Tinsa keeps everyone alive, and Goliath wins that 1v1 with Water. So now, Rebellion, they've stabilized, they have trance, but not a lot of other ults in their bank, but still ahead of Legion.
Well, we'll see what Legion does here. Minute 15 left, and really, this next fight, not going to be the greatest for them. Very low on resources. And the Rebellion just kind of daring them, saying, all right, guys, you're going to move in over on us, and they're just saying, we're taking our time.
Yeah, they're going to be doing these rotations here. But remember, the more rotations you take, the more the probability monster creeps up on you that you might lose someone.
And they're rotating to a worse position overall. They got stuck in the corner there. Montreal getting a lot of early poke.
Look at this split from Legion. They're caught on the ground. You see Naga go in, try to get the bash, but is cleaned up in return.
I don't think Naga had to do that there. Rebellion was winning up to that point. They go a little bit too aggro. Now Legion have been able to build up some ultimate fight. They take advantage, and it's just a slow grind that works in their favor. Gonna be leading us to a very explosive final fight here. 30 seconds left, one more fight to go, and both teams pretty well armed.
A lot of ults about to be dropped in this next fight. Rebellion, maybe a little bit of a misplay by not using their trance early to catch them on the rotation. Now, the combo is about to be up for Legion. They have the grab for sure. There's about that double support ult as well. So really, we're just gonna have to watch how do these teams react? How do they bunny hop these support ults?
Just slow
In a
crab
very
walking to
position.
the left, and
I think the pause is for Panker because he seems to be moving into the wall.
Yeah, that.
Definitely appears to not be Panker's spot. He's moving slowly but surely. Into
That was kind of like the, if I move really slowly, I become invisible.
Yeah, clearly something is wrong with Panker. Something is happening there where he's stuck in movement, because that is not, it doesn't look like normal movement to me.
Here's the real problem for them there is that, okay, if that was indicative of a disconnect, that's probably the game.
I mean, if Panker is DC'd, then he loses Shatter, and he's not in the fight.
Yeah.
So
instant 5v6, no penalty.
That's a pretty big DC if that does happen.
That is actually one of the worst possible timelines there for the Legion, and I mean, really could end up giving the map over to Montreal.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, there's really nothing else to say. That's just the worst. That is a dark timeline. That is a very dark timeline to be in if you were Legion.
Where, by the way, I mean, losing any character in 3-3 is bad. I mean, you can make up a horror story basically for everything, but also losing your Ryan is particularly bad.
Losing your Lucio is bad if he has beat. Like, you need to have beat, but at the very least, he can speed back quickly.
Yeah.
But Reinhardt does not have wall riding mechanics.
Well, it was like 20 some odd seconds left. I don't even think they have time to, even if we had the full, honorable sportsman thing, which, by the way, you should never hold it against a team if they don't do that. Like, you play the win, you don't be like, we let them get away, and then they lost a good, favorable game, right?
Yeah,
you got to finish out. Like, you have no choice.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, Like, you play to win.
Yeah.
So, obviously, within, like, what are the actual allowed rules. But, like, if someone DCs, you should bet that they were going to take advantage. And bye-bye, Panker. He's gone.
That is rip. Now, okay, let's see. They're going to have to engage. They know it's 5v6. Panker immediately swaps over to the Hammond to try to get back over to the fight. Full overtime. And he gets back in relatively quickly. Panker right back into it.
However, but no combo. There was no combo up for Legion. They use the Shadow. They do get the trance out of Goliath and the Shadow from Nomi.
Nomi eats up grab! There's a chance now for the Legion. Everyone's still up. They're back up to 6.
Oh my goodness! The boop from Panker along with Ludde denies them the cart.
Who he meanwhile being like, that counts, doesn't it? At the very end?
That was huge. That was so important. They back up trying to survive the bomb, and Panker bounces them along with Ludde, meaning they can't touch.
There's part of me that wonders, going into that, does that actually work out better for the Legion?
I mean, potentially Rebellion wasn't prepared for the Legion recontest. Maybe they were a little bamboozled.
I guess
possible. If anything, maybe Panker, that's the hugest brain play I've ever seen, where Panker DCs his own PC, puts Rebellion out of the mindset of victory, comes back on Hammond, and then bounces them off the cart.
So we're actually saying this is part of, like, the biggest brain scamas that we've ever seen.
This is a truly legendary 9 million IQ gamer moment.
Well, in any case, the Legion avoiding what could have been just abject disaster there from the DC, making the best of a tough situation. Now, they do finish with 0 time left on the clock.
However, Blizzard World can be a tough map to finish.
Yeah.
So finishing it all is still a blessing, especially with the DC.
Oh, no doubt about it. There is worth noting, though, that for Montreal, if they do just set a very quick time and get over a minute, that they would have that win condition available to them. But taking a look here on the defense, Legion not looking to reinvent the wheel. Standard 3-3. Rebellion, again, going to be going for something a little bit off here, but we haven't seen teams experiment with these a little bit more. It is going to be a Pharah Sombra setup.
With no mercy. With no mercy. I find that it interesting to be running this. I think they're going to be swapping.
Yeah, they're swapping back.
They decide to just swap entirely, get onto the 3-3. But I was about to say, we haven't seen a Pharah without a mercy in a very long time.
Well, that's because Pharah without a mercy just gets poked down, can't do anything, and ends up dying in most circumstances, unless you want to put a permanent Harmony Orb up there.
Rebellion moving here through the flank. Ludde trying to get the boop, but actually gets punished by Goliath for trying to get that displacement.
Early pickoff here coming in from Montreal, giving them an easy opportunity, and I mean, just like that, it's too much damage too early, but Montreal suffering much in return. They're just very quickly gonna be getting point A.
Really good pickup from Goliath there. I mean, we've seen this in Overwatch League too, where Lucios are very aggressive, and sometimes they set up a great play with the boop, moving the Reinhardt away from his team, allowing him to be picked up, but you can also get punished, and that's exactly what happened for Legion there.
All right, well, Legion going to be pushed a little bit back. They have to make up time here in point B, and that's playing it mildly.
No, they definitely make up a lot of time, especially with this. It's actually not a gigantic transcend. Wolf doing very good at equalizing that. So both teams really not working with too much in their banks just yet.
Rebellion still at the edge. Hui eating a lot of damage early on. Going to be answered here by a rally coming up from Naga. Graviton in from the Legion.
No combo.
Trying to take advantage. Going to be forcing out the grab the other way. Heavy pressure coming in. Nomi able to shake it. And Nomi rising above. Going to drop the shatter towards the very end. 2 already down. And the Rebellion just dealing with the aggressive engage of the Legion.
I mean, Nomi rising above was partly just because Goliath popped that trance, kept him alive, and Wolves came out too late. Wolf did not pop that trance in time to save Panker. So now Legion, they're only going to be working with that shatter, with that bomb. Rebellion still holding on to Tince's beat. So well, actually, Rebellion holding on to the combo in general. So they're in a very good setup with no support ult from Legion.
Rebellion setting a very quick time here so far. Legion coming back out, fighting for control of the high ground. Early shatter coming in here from Panker. Again, not really getting what he wants. Rebellion just going to shrug it off. Rotate back over to the point. Legion not dropping down yet, but also not with a lot of tools here. Rebellion pretty cool and collected, keeping the pressure on the point. At some point, Legion needs to drop down and contest.
I mean, Logix is just looking for this grab. He's trying to get it set up. Dalton's so close to a grab of his own. Oh my goodness, Fried is so weak. He gets deep. He actually goes for the bomb.
Well, Fried just lays self-destruct out there. Doesn't really get what he's looking for. Meanwhile, Hui self-destructed his out and over. Again, not
very
too
good.
much.
It hits the top. It actually goes on top of the barrier of the bridge. So a lot of damage.
Panker, though, going back in here for the Legion. Going to find one off the fire strike, moving forward. And it's a very bloody battle, but defensive Legion doing an okay job now, turning the tide back in their favor. And that was a very long fight.
It was Logix really looking for that grab for a long time. He decides to set it up because of that presence, all that pressure onto Fried. He drops it while Fried is remeching, but Hui's bomb, because it landed on the bridge on top, all the damage was blocked, so they really didn't get any value from that setup.
No, not quite. Certainly not in the way they were looking for, but Legion, at a minimum, able to get a little bit of a reprieve, able to set up again. Very nice damage coming in here from Dalton. Just getting into the thick of the Rebellion. Rebellion going to answer with the rally. Moving forward, trying to fight for the high ground, pankering a lot of damage. Rule having to transcend to save the front line. They weren't in a great position to dive back into the Rebellion. The Rebellion drop a shadow of their own. They use it to take down Panker. Man advantage now working out here for the Rebellion.
Big grab.
Grab the other way from Dalton. Any fall through going to be there. They get on Tensa, and it's water right there after the self-destruct for good measure, and Legion turn it around.
Huge grab from Dalton. I mean, Rebellion win the high ground battle off of that shatter, off of the trance. But because Dalton stays alive, has high energy, and is able to catch Rebellion as they fall off the high ground with that grab, they're able to clean up because there was no support alive for Rebellion just yet.
So we talked about going to this point that it was up to the Legion to buy time and equalize a bit after the really rough start on point A. They've done that. So
they have. I mean, they've accomplished that goal. The only thing here is that Rebellion, they have their own combo. So Panker's Shatter is realistically the only ult available to them. And it's pretty good.
He goes for it, and this time going to connect, forces out the barrier super early, but the response might be even bigger. The Graviton gets him together. Hui blows him up, and the Rebellion still make it work even after they were all on the ground. They were still just so deep that the fall-through opportunity wasn't really there for the Legion.
Great play. I mean, Panker saw the opening and took it, was able to force the barrier extremely early and also get the grab out early, so Legion have time for a recontest.
They're going to get back over. Wolf going to use the Transcendence immediately. Rebellion, only a rally on the other side. It's definitely a support edge here to Legion. The grab's eaten! Hui devours the grab. Dalton was looking for the finisher, and instead, we're still going. Transcendence now, out from the Rebellion, fighting heavily for point B. Looking for a way through. Rally, still up here for the Legion. Nomi going to drop the hammer. But the Legion shrugging it right off. Panker, though, under pressure, still under pressure, gonna fall. Naga, though, giving his life at the same time, 5 on 5. Nomi feeling the burn the other way, but shrugging it off, gets a bubble when he needs it most, swings the hammer, and Rebellion actually going to be getting control here on point B.
Are they going to get fried at any time?
No,
the bubble comes out for Dalton, they're still alive. Panker's back again. This is, they lost the point, they're not gonna win, but this is an incredibly long stagger defense for Legion. They've burnt off so much time.
2 minutes. The good part here, too, for the Legion is that it's super unlikely that Montreal actually finishes this out with over a second left from a minute. So no matter what, even if we go to extra rounds, Legion should get an attack.
I mean, Fried also looks like he's committing to the Hammond for this last point. He has mines, no Diva now for Rebellion, so Logix is free to grab. There is no presence there. There's also not going to be a combo for Legion in their own grab, other than the mines, which is very possible they might do, but the burst damage still isn't high enough.
Early damage coming in. Fried holding onto the minefield, and Legion just casually looking forward, but you look towards Fried and how he's going to set this up. He's going to grapple, moves over, looking for the pile driver. Mines can be coming up perhaps? No, Fried waits a moment, Graviton up the other side. Waiting, Mines now in the thick of things, right after the grab, immediately blows up Logix, and Legion playing the ult exchange here quite well, and they are going to be out of the danger zone of the Rebellion finishing with over a minute left. Not going to happen now. Well,
all that damage coming to Logix along with the mines actually able to finish. So strong combo play from Legion there. Is Fried going to make a swap or is he going to stay on this Hammond? He will be going back to that Diva. Lude has the beat. Rebellion, they do have, I mean, it's pretty equal on both sides. Really, Rebellion need to be making sure that Panker does not get value from the Shatter.
Well, Panker's been going for some really aggressive high-value shatters. And
you can see Water hiding on the top right. They're going to be trying to set up a bash.
Makes sense. And Legion, they're just holding back. It's up to Rebellion to force this right now.
I mean, they're taking a lot of time here. They're looking for the engage now. Water still hiding. He's hiding. He's hiding. He drops down now.
Drops over. There it is. Bash shatter. Excellently executed. Water's patience paying off. The Legion following through. 26 seconds left now for the Rebellion to make one final stand.
And getting this, then two great things happen there. Not only was that Shatter extremely good, they didn't have to use a lot of other ult, they didn't have to use any other ults, but they're getting the stagger onto Hui and Pinsa use beat to try to keep his team alive. So they do not have that up for the Rebellion.
Graviton going to be set up here. Rebellion caught in a bind. The Legion moving forward, taking control of the game. Final 3 seconds. And now the sad moment when you have to be the last person touching the cart. Tenza taken down. Overtime ticking away. The Zenyatta not going to get there in time. And the Legion even up the series. It's 1-1.
1-1 now, so we do have a series. Moving on here. Well played, though, from Water and the rest of Legion, setting up that Bash Shatter.
Yeah.
You haven't been seeing them nearly as prevalently as you did when you could bash through Shield, which is good, in my opinion. That's a good thing. But that was a really good setup. They didn't even attempt to try to scout him. They weren't recognizing that Water was missing from the front line, so they had a great setup there.
Well, the thing is, it's a very risky play, right? Where if you expect it coming, you just adapt to the Brigitte and immediately like send her to the nether realm. You delete her from existence. But when you're not expecting it, when you go for it just once every map, or even like once or twice in a full set, suddenly things go a little bit better for you, where it's going, okay, you're not expecting that, you're worried about other things, Brigitte comes out of nowhere at a critical moment, and you lose the fight.
I mean, that's really all there is to it. When you're able to set up something like that, when it's so aggressive, when it's so well-timed, because you notice as well, the bubble had been used for Rebellion earlier in the fight, so that's when Water drops, after that initial aggression. So just well done.
Yeah. Well, in any case, we have ourselves a series and then some. Legion able to pick themselves up, and I mean, both teams showing us some good stuff here so far. But guys, if you want to see the conclusion of the game, we are taking a break. When we come back, second half, going to be heading right at you.